Waxy lol katamami. Oh, that was so cringy. Yeah, I mean, if you know, waxy lol katamami. Waxy lol katamami. If you know, you know what I'm saying. Oh, that's funny. What is my life anymore? Oh, you got a house at 22? Fuck you. Love you for that. And, being miserable, as most Twitter users are. And I remember I, found something and I was like, what's this? And I was like, oh, what is it, like a drink or something? Turns out, I saw this video.
Developed during slavery. In tonight's Bay Area close-up, Belva Davis has the story of Gloria Milliquane, a woman who has spent years trying to preserve a language she calls
I Karanan, Saspapi Akak, Tachutat, Fafwaluinan Tatlalyak. Hashi Square Lolo.
As foreign as the language Gloria McKilway is speaking may sound, it's native to this country.
What are you giving? And it was like, you could tell it's a very old video. And I could tell it's very old because when I look up, the book, it's not there. Sis said I had books, and I'm like, I'm looking for her books, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong stuff. Oh, wait. It's on Amazon, y'all. I'm being so slow. Child, they don't have it. It's currently unavailable. So I don't know what Gloria has her book yet, but it's 1995, y'all. Jesus Christ. No, it's in San Francisco. To go all the way to San Francisco to get a book from Gloria, Miss Gloria. I can't do that. Sure, I could barely go down the street without having an issue. Anyway, I go on the sites. I'm going to put the links below. And I was looking at the sites, and I was just like, okay, it's giving me certain stuff. I was learning certain words like circle and bubbles. Now, I would say it for you right now. But currently I have this this thing going on. My doctor prescribed to me. He said it's the incapability of actually being able to perform on the spot. And so I will have to do it after the fact. I'm so sorry. Yeah, doctor's orders. But what I'm trying to say now is that this is very important and not enough people are talking about it. I like how we learn stuff after the fact. Black History Month gone, Juneteenth gone, and all of a sudden somebody on TikTok like, oh yeah. Then we just sitting there like, and there was some people, okay, from the description, it's like, okay, South, I'm Black, I'm African-American, I live in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and Mississippi is literally one of the biggest breeding grounds back in the day and still now for racism. And so at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, this big debate, is it a dialect or is it a language? Now, someone on Twitter, I'm going to have to find it, said basically that AAVE is a dialect language. So I was like, okay, that makes sense, right? Yeah, that makes sense. But, when I was sitting there looking at certain things, like certain people were sitting there responding and it's sort of like basically people are doing this little game where it's like, you're going to have to figure it out so you can understand what I'm saying. And it's just like, bye-bye. And yeah, I was sitting there looking on Twitter and I was just like, girl, what is going on? But I don't know what you're saying. Now, the girlies on Twitter was like, okay, well, basically, since it's a secret language from our ancestors, we can't sit there and tell you what's going on because the rest of the girlies, the White Walkers, the Caucasians, but like, that makes sense, though. It is a secret language. It is a secret deal. But I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's a secret language. And I know I'm not the only Black person, regardless of your age. I was sitting there. I look on YouTube, blank stare. There's nothing there. And so if you look at on this video and you're like, oh yeah, he's going to teach us about, I'm just going to sit there and let you know. I'm just as confused as everyone else. I don't know. And it's the native tongue, the tongue of our ancestors, the language that they created because Master was sitting there doing too much and Master didn't want to let them read. And it's like, you may think to yourself, well, why, because I know some African Americans, especially some African American conservatives, because Lord knows half of them don't even love themselves anyway. A lot of them probably going to be like, why would we want to sit there and reenact or recreate a old language, a language that came from our oppressors? You know how they spin, dip, flip, trip, whatever the hell they do. They are morphing into something and connected to the oppressors, or maybe some hotep, somebody gonna say something regardless. But at the end of the day, I feel like there needs to be a more discussion about this. We always talking about, oh, I wish we had our culture. I wish, but nobody's saying shit. Okay, we talking about the same stuff on Twitter. Oh, so-and-so guy. Like, I don't care about these celebrities. I don't care. No, but for real, like, come on now. And if this is really our language, because I believe it is. If this is really something, this is something. Literally, it's like a book. It said 1995, so this is back in the 90s. Nobody was really paying attention in the 90s. But I feel like now it's like, our generation, Gen Z, I'm more like, born in the 2000s, so off of millennial towards Gen Z, like, in the middle, like on the borderline, I guess you could say. I still feel that millennials, Gen Z very much want to sit there and get more into it, because I do feel like a lot of things are lost, because a lot of the stuff got lost because my hypothesis, well, I won't say hypothesis, my inference, because black folks, because our ancestors, because, people back in the day doing segregation and all of this other Jim Crow laws and all this other bullshit that America is famous for, because of that, they sort of, I want to say assimilate, maybe, is that the wording? They had to be able to be 10 times as better than so-and-so, 10 times better than so-and-so. That's probably why, I was talking to my mom, and she was just like, because the older generation think that we're lazy, and they think that you're lazy, and you're lazy, you don't want to do nothing, and back in our day, and it takes two to tango. That's all I'm going to sit there and say, we can't just blame the young generation and say they lazy, because that's not really true, but go off, I guess. That's the reason why you got so many Moniques sitting there saying, take off your bunny in public, because, they had to sort of be better, do this. And that was sort of to get away from all of that ghetto niggery shit, Like, yeah, we gonna be black, but let's not sit there and be too black. Like, none of that slave shit, Maybe now they gonna keep the whippings. They're going to keep that because, it's like, sit your ass down, okay, But the other stuff is sort of, that faded away along with all these other types of shit. It sort of faded away throughout history. And so a lot of stuff that even we created, our ancestors created, I believe, in America when they were forced in America, treated like shit. And, they had a whole bunch of Army Hammers sitting there at the head of the slave owner's household, sitting there talking about when you going to feed me another nigga. And, that's some crazy shit. But, there's so much other stuff that happened back in that time, Lord knows. But what I'm saying is, even that stuff that they create, it's like they tell us stuff, they tell us the horrors. And, we as African Americans, especially being in the school system, I went to Hattiesburg High, they taught us a whole bunch of stuff about, slavery and stuff. It's like, okay, I get it. We know about slavery this, slavery that. We know about slavery, trust me. Like, we know that up and down. But then again, the fucked up thing is talking about when they ate literal people. I didn't know they did that. But Twitter was really interesting. Well, basically what they said, we learned about this language before, but or better yet, this was on Twitter like a year ago and it blew up, and now it's like, and this is the problem I have with the black community. It's like, we say something like, oh, we're not gonna attend that movie, and we're gonna cancel so and so. And we're gonna, oh yeah, that's right, the black rise up, rise for the day, rise up. They talking all this stuff, and then right when it hits, everybody and their mama at the movie theater, everybody and their mama at the event. Everybody and their mama went to go see the movie. Everybody and their mama went to go see the TV show. Everybody and their mama still supported the abuser. Everybody and their mama still listened to so-and-so music. Everybody and their mama still wearing so-and-so clothes. Everybody and their mama still buying so-and-so products. Everybody and their mama, like, you know, you say all of this stuff over and over and over again that you're going to sit there and detach, and I'm going, a revolution. And they don't do they don't commit. They don't commit. And it's just like, I understand, you know, but where's the consistency? Because everybody else got the consistency. And I understand, especially for white people, that, I'm sorry, I'm spitting, COVID no more. I know that everybody else and their mama, you know, they had the opportunity to, you know, they had the privilege and they forced their ability to be able to sit there and have certain opportunities and be able to sit there and one up, you know, people of color. But at the end of the day, it's like, at this point, you know, a lot of our ancestors, they went through hell and back, you know, so there's no excuse, especially for my generation, to just sit there and not be able, you know, if we can't do anything, we can sit there and try to figure out how to learn this language. So I need somebody to do a Discord. I need somebody to start, so we need to start talking about it. We need to start talking about it more and more. We need to, you know, I would love to have a secret code. I would love to have a language. I would love to sit there, you know, the flag and have all of this other stuff. I would love to be a part of that. And no, not just straight people, but also queer people, people a part of the LGBTQ community also will be a part of this. Because I don't want no damn hotels talking about, well, you know, I don't got time for that shit. Everybody who's black, African American, regardless of how they look, regardless of their background, regardless of whatever the hell they doing, as long as they're not hurting themselves or others, if they're going to sit there and be African American, they can sit there and learn. So at the end of the day, if everyone else has their language, if everyone else has their own little heritage, their own little lineage, their own little culture, we should also have it. Yes, we have our culture. Yes, we built our stuff. Yes, we have the own, you know, our things that we do to take care of ourselves. Yes, yes, yes. But if there's more stuff that's coming out of the woodwork that connects us to people of our past, then by all means, we need to sit there and get on it right now. Because if we keep waiting and we keep sitting here just passing it by or doing it every so often, like every blue moon, we're going to sit there and actually talk about something, even because if it's something that actually was talked about on Twitter, on social media in the past, and then somehow everyone got amnesia because, yeah, the pandemic and all this other shit, and then all of a sudden we get back to it, but there's barely anybody talking about it. It's like, you know, and then you can't be surprised that African Americans are sitting there saying, well, I don't know, like, I'm surprised, because then certain people are like, how y'all surprised? It's like, y'all expect, you know, you can't, especially people from other countries, you can't sit there and say that Americans' education system is shit and then be surprised when we don't know shit, especially about our own culture. You know, you can't be, come on now. Let's not sit there and act dumb. You know, let's not sit there and act like you don't know why we don't know what the fuck is going on. Nobody's telling us nothing. Nobody's sitting there. Nobody know what's going on. We don't know what we're doing. We have to create. And then now we just started to gatekeep, and you know, Lord, I call white entitlement, because Lord knows they get upset when we gatekeep stuff. Look at my lip. They get upset when we gatekeep stuff. You know, you can't gatekeep that, and you can't gatekeep that, because you know, well, that's not fair. And y'all wear blonde wigs and all this other bullshit. And so, Lord, we got to start gatekeeping something, you know. So I understand the secrecy and the protection of this language, even though they're saying, why are you guys going on social media and talking about it? Because if you go on social media, more people will know about it. You need more people to understand what's going on. If you keep it to yourself because it's a secret language, then it's like, okay, we're going to have to do something because they're going to find out regardless. That's like a black artist sitting there saying, you know, that's like a black artist talking about, you know, this is my experience. And I'm over here talking about growing up in the hood. And they got a whole bunch of white people in the audience. And they're sitting there saying, well, we can't sit there and let y'all. It's like, baby, you know, look. You better have a backup plan because you had a career. You know, it's like, you know, there's certain things it's inevitable. You can't, you know, you try to keep it secret. It's inevitable. I don't know who I have to talk to. You know, I don't know who I have to go speak to. And the thing is, this is why it's so important, because a lot of people said in the comments, well, my elders was speaking that, but I always thought it was just them playing. I always thought it was just them doing the most. And it's like, we don't pay attention because we're so used to something else. We don't pay attention to our history. And then stuff like that dies. stuff like that dies. And so even when it's still here, we turn around, we just like, oh yeah, grandma, she just, baby, she got the dementia. She don't know what the hell she talking about. Yeah, okay, grandma. Yeah, yeah, I'll bring you your sweet tea later. You don't need it. You're diabetic. We sit there and say that all the time, but then we don't have a conversation. We don't talk. We dismiss the elders. And yes, there's this whole, back and forth with older generation of black folks and younger generation, and this constant back and forth and how dare y'all and how dare you. But at the end of the day, if we don't figure out what's going on, we're not going to be able to sit there and really, catch it. We got to catch it, and we got to preserve it, and we got to get that shit before the light bulbs get it. And then we're going to be looking stupid when they sit in a comedy special and we sitting there like, what the fuck are you talking about? All right. At the end of the day, this was fun. This was fun to look up, But yeah, we need to talk about it. There needs to be sites, there needs to be, identification code, something, I don't care. We're going to have to be serious about this shit. If you really want to learn, we have to be serious about this shit, Do a phone call, a voice recognition, something, a FaceTime. Okay. All right. FaceTime, put something in the database, the TUT database. Maybe I'm going to have to do it because, it's like, yeah, I'm going to have to figure out how to do it because, it's like we got to figure out how to learn because I want to learn. I'm 20 years old. I want to be able to, at least by 25, 20-something, to be able to learn my own language because it would be nice, having certain clothes, certain stuff, to be a part of the African-American identity, certain stuff that, we didn't necessarily, we created, but it's sort of like it was already there before us and not something that, you know what I'm sitting there trying to say, y'all, Lord. I hope you know. But that's all I was trying to say. And, goodbye, my loves. I hope someone looks at this video. I hope more people look at this video because it's important. And we need to learn our language. And we need to learn different things about our culture. Because if we don't, in several more years, you'll blink and you're sitting there wondering what the hell's going on. Because a lot of y'all say y'all want to be American now. Then you're going to be crying when so-and-so and everybody else got their culture. And you sitting there being an American. But I digress.
Or ego waffle. I'm sitting down my eat of falafel, all while wearing Aeropostale. I'm Pentecostal, or maybe agnostic. Take all my witness and stock it in the bunker below, then I lock it. What's that smell? I block it. Am I a narcissist? I'm thinking pessimistic. I got a feeling that it's parasitic. Making songs about myself only activates it. The infected blood cells in my head circulation as I block out negativity with a new innovation. Enough about me, the sun is bright though. Okay, best friend, look at you glow. Hey, look at you go. I'm rambling about nonsense. Hey, where you go? I know I'm talking about me again, but